Hold on, let me inform my people that we're live.
We are already live. Matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 20th installment of the H&H Sports Podcast. Can you believe it? It's Christmas time. The 20th episode of H&H is upon us. Life is grand. It's championship weekend in college football. Titans are still first in the division. Life is great. Life is fantastic. Welcome back to the podcast. We have a very, 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 very great weekend in store for us in college football. This may not be a big NFL week on the podcast. We apologize, but so much is happening in college football right now. It's not even worth mentioning in NFL right now. Yeah, let's just jump straight into it. The rankings came out last night. There were some question marks. The top four, definitely not part of them. I think the top four, they got a 100%. There's a case for Michigan to be number one, but I think they got it right with Georgia 1, Michigan 2. The just outside of the top four, we have 6 and 7. Now I'm going to ask you the logic behind this. I'm going to ask you the logic behind this. Do you think I don't even know what I'm going to ask. Do you think
you heard me already say no?
Do you think the committee got it right by putting Alabama over Tennessee?
Oh, I thought you were going to say yes. I think they got it right.
Why?
Because Alabama's 2 losses are combined 4 points. Tennessee got smacked by South Carolina, unranked South Carolina.
That would have been my thing. Like, yeah, they got the head-to-head win. Like, yeah, that kind of matters, but you let South Carolina, like, they're ranked now, but at the time,
and you don't have Hendon Hooker no more.
That is true, but they're still ranked. Who's their quarterback now?
Joe Milton.
That is right. You think they go with somebody else? Joe Milton.
Well, Nico's not there yet. I thought you were going to ask me, did I think Tennessee should be ranked above Alabama? That's why I said no.
Yeah, Joe Milton's their other senior. That other guy I was thinking of transferred last year. Or a couple years ago. So did everyone else on that roster. You remember a couple years ago we were like, this is the end of Tennessee football. We're like, what's his face got caught with the McDonald's bags and literally everyone left.
Hold on just a second.
Whatever, I'll just be talking to myself. And like, for what's his face? He got caught with the McDonald's bags, and I forget his name. He got caught with
Jeremy Pruitt.
Jeremy Pruitt. He got caught with like giving money in McDonald's bags, and everyone transferred and left.
Turns out it wasn't McDonald's bags; it was Chick-fil-A bags.
It don't matter.
That does raise the stakes a little bit. I mean, it's not as bad. I mean, at least you use high quality stuff,
Still,
give him his job back.
Pruitt was not good. He led them to a 8-5 season though, their first winning season in a few years. When they had Juwan Jennings at quarterback, that was a weird. I don't know how that team won 8 games. That team was terrible. They had Juwan. Garantano was so bad that they put receiver at quarterback, bro. That's funny. That's hilarious. Okay. So ESPN.com has this little playoff predictor thingy. That's like really intriguing. Whatever. And they have these like scenarios that you could do. If every like top 4 team loses on Saturday, I'm going to show you what they got. And Clemson loses, let's say. Their predictor has Georgia, like, I think Georgia's like pretty much stamped to make the playoff right now. I think they're like locked no matter what happens. Michigan, they have Michigan 98% at 2. They have TCU 91% at 3. And then they have Ohio State 88% at 4. If everyone loses. Like every top team loses.
Okay. Do you think...
And then they have Alabama at 5 at 20%.
Do you think TCU should get in regardless if they win or lose?
It depends on who else wins. Because if everyone wins and then TCU loses, it's like, can Ohio State get over him? Because right now, USC has a lower percentage to make the playoff right now than Ohio State does.
That's wild.
Even, look, I'm going to show you, even after they win and everyone else wins, Ohio State, yeah, if everyone who's supposed to win wins, it goes Georgia, Michigan, TCU all at like 100%. And then Ohio State is 51%, while USC is 43%.
What's Alabama?
It doesn't show. It just shows the top 5.
Oh.
That's wild. That they have Ohio State, 11-1 Ohio State, over a 12-1 USC, whose only loss came by 1 point.
Yeah, that's wild.
That doesn't make sense to me. Like, Ohio State got embarrassed on their home turf on the last game of the season. And they don't have, like, their only good win.
You want a hot take?
Their only good win on the season was Penn State and Notre Dame. What were you going to say?
I said, do you want a hot take?
Yeah.
I think Michigan's the best team in the country.
That's a fair point. It's a fair point. They don't have a bad win all season.
It is
probably. You could say Illinois is a bad win. You could make a case for it.
Well, they did lose Blake Corman that too. So.
And Illinois was ranked at the time. They're a good team. You can make a case that Illinois is their only bad win of the season. But if you look at Ohio State, they had. I'm
also tired of the narrative that TCU hasn't played anybody.
They played the Big 12. I mean, Ohio State doesn't really have a bad win either. I mean, they have Northwestern.
I'm just going to point out that
the Northwestern game was pretty ugly.
So was the Maryland game.
So was Maryland. And then they get pumped by Michigan the next game.
TCU played Iowa State this past Saturday. Iowa State had the 6th ranked defense in the country going into the game.
Oh yeah, TCU murdered them.
And TCU hung what, 45 on them?
I think they hung 60.
I don't know. Last time
62. 62.
Last time I was, it was 40 something.
It was 62. They beat them by 48.
They didn't. I tell you what they didn't do. They didn't run out of 10-second field goal.
I remember in week 3 when TCU was playing SMU, and I picked SMU to win that game. It was one of us that picked SMU.
We both did.
It was one of us that picked SMU.
Hold on. We're about to find out. Give me a second. It wasn't week 3.
Or the TCU's 3rd game, whatever.
Week 4. You picked TCU and I picked SMU.
Yeah, one of us picked SMU to win. That's crazy. Freaking okay. So I have a question. Is there
that was the week Texas A&M got one of their 2 SEC wins.
A&M. They killed LSU's playoff hopes. We were asking if LSU was gonna be the first 2-loss playoff team ever. Now it's not even possible. I mean, it could be. All right, I'm gonna ask you. Can Alabama make the playoff at all? Do you think there's any possibility that Alabama can make the playoffs?
USC has to lose. I feel like if TCU loses, they're not going to put them in.
You think so?
I don't think so. I don't think they'll put them in if they lose.
I think TCU, if they're 12,
it's gonna be like 2014 all over again.
12-0.
2014 they went 11-1 and got snubbed.
Seeing Michigan at 12-0 is weird.
Well, it's been the case for 2 years now.
That's so weird. They were 11-1 last year because they had that loss.
Oh, were
they? Yeah, they lost to Michigan State.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Brother. Okay, I think there's a big possibility that USC could lose again.
Oh yeah, I could definitely see them losing.
I don't think Michigan loses at all. Again, it's Purdue. Like last year, Purdue beat
If
ranked
just
2
if
Iowa and
just
ranked 2 Michigan State, both in the same season.
if just USC loses,
Can we talk about Michigan's playing Purdue? Purdue.
yeah. You know
Nobody
what they say.
in the Big Ten, was it West, did better than
You know
Purdue?
you know what they say about Purdue when your team has a funny number next to it.
Brother. It's just Purdue's winning.
So what if Purdue wins this game? Is Michigan in regardless?
I think Michigan's in regardless.
Okay.
Same with Georgia.
Yeah.
I think
Georgia's
same with TCU. I mean, it depends. Like if everyone else wins, they might fall to 5 and they put Ohio State in.
Yeah, I think if USC loses, Ohio State gets in over Alabama. Somehow.
You think Alabama has a stronger case right now than Ohio State?
No. Well, I think they do, maybe. But not to, I don't think to them, no, because they put them at 5 and put Alabama at 6. So obviously, that would mean Ohio State would get the nod over Bama, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I think it depends on how
Alabama has 2 losses in 2 of the most hostile environments in the country by 4 points.
So okay, listen.
Got walloped on
So
their
all
home turf.
right. Hold on. I'm gonna give you a scenario. What if the Georgia LSU game, right? What if it goes like this? Alabama lost to LSU, right? If LSU gets killed, absolutely murdered, pumped in Atlanta on Saturday,
That hurts Alabama.
really hurts Alabama. And then Michigan wins close or even loses to Purdue.
Michigan still gets in, I think.
Who's that help though? See, if Michigan loses, then that would be a bad loss for Ohio State, right?
Right.
See, that's bad for both teams. I made a bad scenario there. Then how about, okay, if Michigan wins, they kill Purdue. Like, murder Purdue.
You did it backwards. Did it backwards.
Shut up. Michigan kills Purdue. That helps Ohio State. And then, yeah, Georgia kills LSU. That hurts Alabama. Ohio State probably gets the nod right there. If it comes down to who gets in over Ohio State or Bama, then, like, USC and TCU would have to lose. Either or.
Yeah. So, my thinking is the scenario you just gave. I mean, you said Michigan wins close.
Yeah.
Right? No, Michigan blows them out, and then Georgia beats LSU by close.
No, they both blow them out.
Oh, they both blow them out.
That helps Ohio State in that case.
Right.
All right.
But
So
if you did it, if Michigan blew Purdue out, and Georgia or LSU beat Georgia, or Georgia won close, that helps Alabama.
Yeah.
This should not be this hard.
I think if LSU beats Georgia, that severe
Alabama leapfrogs.
Yeah, that severely helps Alabama's case because Alabama, that doesn't turn into a bad loss for Alabama.
What do you know? Nick Saban rooting for LSU again.
And then I think USC or TCU would have to lose for Alabama to get in that situation.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if LSU wins or Georgia keeps it close with LSU, they have to.
Can we just expand it to 6 this year?
They have to root for Purdue, right? Alabama?
I guess.
Alabama has to root for Purdue this weekend, right?
Yeah, they just need all the underdogs to win.
Because even then, the predictor thing, I don't know how accurate this thing is, but the predictor thing, if everyone loses, it has Alabama at 19%. It has Ohio State at 85. And even I said this earlier, even when everybody who's supposed to win, everybody who's supposed to win wins, they have Ohio State like above USC.
Yeah.
It just depends on how USC wins
or loses.
I think that's stupid. Like committee takes into account oh, they beat this team close. Like a win is a win. Like that's all that matters, to be honest.
Yeah.
I sound like an old head, but still. It's the epitome of TCU. Yeah, they've killed some teams, but they beat some teams close. They beat Baylor on the last second field goal. They beat Texas by 7 in Austin.
In my opinion, they're just battle tested.
Yeah. They beat Oklahoma State by 3. They beat Kansas in Lincoln. I think that's their best win all season. Is that Kansas win? But you could argue Texas too. Has TCU played Kansas State? Yeah, they did.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure TCU won.
Yeah, TCU. Obviously, they're 12-0. Does Adrian Martinez play anymore?
I think he quit. I'm just playing.
Says he's active. I think they have Will Howard as the starter now. Yeah, I think Will Howard starts at quarterback now.
What happened to Adrian Martinez?
I have no idea.
That guy was a dog.
I guess not. Okay, so Will Howard started in 2020. He was abysmal. This year, he's great. Absolutely fantastic.
What do you know?
All right, sidetrack. You don't think there's a way that Clemson gets in?
No.
At all?
No.
Even some outlandish...
No.
Okay. I agree. I'm just asking if you think that there's any way Clemson can get in.
No.
I think with Tennessee at 7, I don't think there's any way that they get in. I think they're just Orange Bowl bound.
Yeah.
This is tough, man. I think it's only down to the top 5, maybe Alabama. But
maybe.
I think anybody past Alabama, I don't think has a shot. Which is kind of weird when we're only down to 6, because I remember last year, there were so many teams, heading into conference championship weekend, because we had Georgia, Michigan, Alabama, Cincinnati was in the playoffs, Oklahoma State, Notre Dame, Baylor had a shot. Ohio State was out because they had just lost to Michigan. There wasn't that many more teams, but there were more teams. It's weird seeing only 6. Okay, I'm gonna ask you this: if everybody that's supposed to win wins, like Georgia wins, Michigan wins, TCU wins, and USC wins, do you think that's the playoff?
Wait, what? Sorry.
If the top 4 right now, they all win on Saturday, do you think that's the playoff?
Yeah.
You don't think Ohio State gets in at all if everyone wins?
If you have 4 conference champions and Ohio State's sitting there without a conference championship, no, they don't get in.
Even if USC kind of squeaks by?
I think they won. They won the conference championship. There's literally nothing else they could have done. I mean,
Even if Michigan kind of squeaks by?
They won.
Yeah, but that helps Ohio State because that's a good loss. Or no, bad loss.
Not when you lost by 30. No, it's not.
All right, okay, it makes sense better if Michigan kills Purdue. All right, how about if Michigan kills Purdue, but USC squeaks by. Like, they still win, but it's not like a good win. Like, Utah loses it more than USC wins it. You think Ohio State? You think Ohio State gets in?
No. Wait. The scenario. Say the scenario again.
Michigan kills Purdue.
Right.
So for Ohio State, that's a good loss. And then USC against Utah, they get a lot of turnovers. The USC, they
went on a field goal.
They win, but they shouldn't have, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Utah loses it more than USC wins it.
I still think it's set. I mean, like.
So if USC wins, you think they're locked in?
I think they gotta be.
No matter what.
Do you not?
I'm just asking you.
I'm
getting what you think.
I think they have to be because they won their conference championship game.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just asking. I think Georgia and Michigan are locked no matter what happens.
And I think TCU should be.
I agree. Because it's not like they're playing. It's not like they're Cincinnati. I hate how everybody's treating TCU like they're Cincinnati in this little top four. Because like if this is Oklahoma, like Oklahoma's locked. It's just the Big 12 isn't as good as people are used to for it being. So they're minimizing Big 12 competition. Like if you put Oklahoma in place of TCU right here, like everybody's like, oh, Oklahoma's locked in. Guarantee you. I think TCU is like they're getting treated like they're a Group of 5 school when they went 12-0 in the Big 12. I think that constitutes a lock in my opinion.
I think they should be locked regardless, but I think if they lose, they're out. I think that's what the committee's going to do.
They're treating TCU like the little brother, like they're privileged to be there.
I do have one little segment if you want to do it before we do the pick'ems.
Let's do it.
We do have some coaching hires, so we can recap those if you want to.
I forgot about that.
Nebraska hired Matt Rule.
Matt Rule, great hire by Nebraska. Like
I love
Matt Rule, you know, got some icky laundry in Carolina, but he left college on a good note. He barely lost.
There was another coach that sucked in the NFL too. You know that?
Nicholas Saban. Nicholas Saban, but he also left college on a natty, so Matt Rule didn't really do that.
Well, Matt Rule, when he left, they went like what? Didn't they go like 11-1 that year or something?
Yeah, they went 11-1 in the regular season. Their only loss came to a 28-3 blown lead against Oklahoma, and then they only lost that conference title game because the top two quarterbacks on the depth chart got hurt, so they had to play the rest of that game with the third string quarterback. I will never forget that Matt Rule had to try and beat Oklahoma in the Big 12 title game with his third string quarterback.
Yeah, so I love the hire by Nebraska. I think Matt Rule's gonna have that program right in a couple of years.
Like with the even with like they had what's his face? I already forget his name. Scott Frost. He was decent recruiting at Nebraska. If you bring in Matt Rule, who's a great recruiter, even at Temple, to Nebraska, the pipelines he's got, and he's got good coaching. I think good college coaching. I think Nebraska's gonna be good. Even in the Big Ten, I think Matt Rule is gonna have a good tenure at Nebraska.
After trolling some folks on Twitter, Lane Kiffin signed an 8-year, $9 million extension with Ole Miss.
There's no way he was leaving Auburn. I don't care if Auburn's got more money. I don't care if none of that.
Well,
Auburn would have been a terrible situation to go to.
Let's go ahead and talk about the Auburn job. Auburn hired Hugh Freeze. Love this hire.
You love the hire.
I love the hire.
You love the hire. Why?
I just do. I mean, I don't think you could have got anybody better.
I'm gonna remind you what Hugh Freeze did in his last 3 games as a head coach.
At Liberty?
I'm gonna just remind you at Liberty. He lost to UConn, Virginia Tech, and New Mexico State. You could argue.
But factor in.
You
These
could
kids already
argue
know he's gone.
that those are three of the worst teams in college. I mean, UConn made a bowl game, but Virginia Tech and New Mexico State.
When you get to this point in college football, I feel like kids start to realize their coach is leaving and they don't try.
But the last 3 games, I get the last week, but the last 3 games, that's what happened with Tom Herman in Houston. When Tom Herman was like locked to go to Texas, Memphis beat him.
Yeah.
I only know that because, you know.
But anyway, what I was going to say is Auburn made it was in Hugh Freeze's contract that he had to give up his Twitter account. No wonder Lane Kiffin didn't take the job.
Bro, he runs his account, his dog's account. Bro, Lane Kiffin got 4 accounts on Twitter.
Lane was ready to sign that contract, and he got to Auburn to sign it, and he saw that. He said, "Oh, no, I ain't."
He said, all right, hold on. Before I sign this, let me finish reading this. I got to give up Twitter. Heck no. But, bro, they really had to give up his Twitter account to be the Auburn coach?
The school runs it now. He's not allowed to run his own social media.
I saw Gus Malzahn like tweeted at him saying he had a couple like visors and sweater vests he could have now that he's at Auburn.
Hugh won't see it because he don't run his own Twitter.
No, he replied back. I guess it doesn't take an account until like the season starts or spring training starts or whatever.
I guess so.
That is funny.
FAU fired Willie Taggart.
Dude, how many jobs has Willie Taggart had in college, bro? I'm about to look him up.
A lot.
I know he's had the Florida State job. I think he's had the Oregon job, if I'm not mistaken.
Speaking of Oregon, Kenny Dillingham is headed to Arizona State.
I saw that, the OC.
Yeah. I like that hire too.
Okay, so he was the head coach at Western Kentucky, and then at USF. In 2017, for 1 year, he was the Oregon coach. For 2 years, he was the Florida State coach in 2018 and 2019. And then the past 3 seasons, he's been the FAU coach after Kiffin was there. He's made 2 bowl games. Wow. Did he do anything at Florida State?
Oh, I got fired.
I know that. Did they do anything in 2018 or 2019?
I think. Oh, maybe not. Maybe
I don't know
wrong.
how this turned into a, crapping on Willie Taggart segment.
Because you made it that way.
Dude, it's just funny. Like, Willie Taggart, he was a freaking head coach.
Like 4 times.
Let's go. 2018, they won 5 games. In 2019, they won 6 games. Willie Taggart got him to a bowl.
Yeah, he got fired after making a bowl game.
They were 6-6 at Florida State.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense, but
Ain't nothing to write home about.
Are you done crapping on Willie Taggart?
For now, yeah.
Wisconsin hired Luke Fickell.
I forgot about that, bro. He's the only coach in history to bring his team to a college football playoff appearance and leave for a better job. The only coach ever.
He may be the only coach to ever do that.
Ever. Lead his team to a playoff appearance and then leave for an undoubtedly better job. That will never happen again.
Yeah, it probably won't.
That will never happen again.
I like this hire a lot too.
Dude, I was thinking, it's like, man, what coaches got hired? And then I remember it's freaking Luke Fickell left. I thought the only job he would leave for was the Ohio State job. And I was
Really?
thinking, like, why would that job even be open? Like, that people are like trying to get Ryan Day fired.
Why?
He's
Because
like,
he's never beat Michigan.
I mean, he
Well,
has.
that's what got Hugh Freeze hired. Is because he's beat Alabama twice.
That's funny, dude. The freaking that. Dude,
Auburn looked at his resume and said 2 wins versus Alabama. Didn't look at nothing else and said hired.
signed. How many wins does Gus Malzahn have against Alabama? Probably more than 2.
I
Dude,
doubt it.
I don't think Hugh Freeze will be any better than what Gus Malzahn was.
You don't?
Not really, because Gus Malzahn was a consistent 8, 9, 7.
Yeah, I can see that.
8, 9, 7 wins every year. They were never bottoming out. Maybe
I can see
maybe
that.
a year or 2 when they had a ton of freshmen, but they were never. Like I think they made a title game with them, but won.
Yeah, I could see that.
They almost made one another time, but like it's gonna be like I could see them winning 10 or 11 games this season, but they're gonna be a consistent 7, 8, 9 win season every year.
Yeah.
So
8,
it's
9,
like
10, yeah.
it's a parallel move. It's an upgrade from who was their previous coach? I'm forgetting.
Ron Harsin.
Harsin. It's an upgrade from Harsin, but it ain't much of an upgrade from Malzahn.
Yeah.
Lateral move. It's a lateral move. That's what I was trying to get at.
Georgia Tech promoted Brent Key to head coach. I don't know what that does to you.
He used to play for him.
Anything to you.
He used to play for him. He's like a player's coach. I think he'll be all right. He beat North Carolina, so be a good hire, I guess.
He did do that. David Shaw resigned from Stanford.
It's a grown man move from Brian Shaw. He saw he wasn't doing anything for that program, so he left. That takes a lot. That actually takes a lot of balls to do. To know that you're the problem, so you leave.
And as of today, UAB hired Trent Dilfer.
Legendary last name, by the way. Trent Dilfer. Bro, did he go there?
I don't think so.
I know he's like a good player development coach.
He's been the head coach at Lipscomb Academy in Nashville for a couple years. And he's I don't know, I just know he's I think he's took him to the state championship a couple times.
Trent Dilfer. Well, I'm gonna see what he's done.
He won a Super Bowl. I mean, not a Super. Did he win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, with the Ravens.
I thought so.
It looks like. Yep.
Was he the starter?
It don't matter. He still got a ring.
That is true.
He went to school at Fresno State. He didn't go to UAB.
But I mean, you're moving from high school to UAB, so I mean that's a pretty good move. I think so.
Yeah. I just wonder why they chose of all the coaches that had jobs, they were like, let's get Trent Dilfer.
Yeah, they could have got Scott Frost or Harsin or.
I don't think Scott Frost would have gone from Nebraska to UAB though.
Oh, he's not going to get much other options. So
he's got so much money though. I think he can.
Maybe they could have gave Willie Taggart a shot.
Willie Taggart hadn't done nothing for a program. He hasn't done anything. He's gone to 2 bowl games in his time as a head coach. 2.
Could have gave Herm Edwards a call.
Neither is Herm Edwards. Herm Edwards is terrible. I'm sorry, Herm.
They could have gave Ron Silverfield a call.
Yeah, they should have. Take Ryan. I want freaking Riley.
We're not getting it. It ain't gonna happen.
Nah, he's gonna get a Power 5 job.
He's definitely going somewhere as soon as the year's over with.
Can you imagine if he's that guy that takes a job before a playoff game and he just doesn't coach? Completely screws TCU out of a playoff, out of a national title.
They're not going to win a national title regardless, but
no, they have a chance. Like TCU's not bad; they're there for a reason. But like, if he just doesn't coach because he got another job, that would be something. It's like the committee's like, why do we even put TCU in here?
So back to your point about Hugh Freeze losing his last 3. Do you have the same narrative with Lane Kiffin?
Lane Kiffin didn't get another job.
I know, but he lost his last 3.
Lane Kiffin didn't lose to UConn, New Mexico State, and Virginia Tech. Lane Kiffin lost to Alabama, Mississippi State, and who else did he lose to?
There's 4 of them, I think.
Well, he lost 4 total games.
Yeah, after starting 6-0. To Arkansas.
Oh yeah, they got kind of.
They got smacked by Arkansas.
They got murked by Arkansas.
Was it LSU?
I predicted that game, by the way.
LSU,
Alabama, Arkansas, Mississippi State. They lost their last 3. But I'm saying Hugh Freeze, if he's this SEC coach, he lost to UConn, Virginia Tech, and New Mexico State. So Lane Kiffin does not have the same narrative. They signed him to an 8-year extension. He lost by 2 to Mississippi State, only 6 to Alabama, but he got blown out by LSU on the road and Arkansas on the road. Like, obviously, they're bad losses considering expectations for Ole Miss, but it's like, it's not a case for you to fire him or not hire him.
I think now, since now we've had the past 2 years of Lane Kiffin's leaving Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin's leaving Ole Miss. He didn't go to LSU. He didn't go to. I thought he was going to LSU. I will say I did think he was going to take that job. I don't know if they didn't offer it to him or because I think if they would have offered him the LSU job, I think he was gone. Because obviously,
who says they didn't?
LSU's a way better job than Ole Miss, is it not?
Yeah, but who says they didn't offer him the job?
Okay, but
I guarantee you they did. I think LSU was weighing every single option they had.
Yeah, they probably did. I think it's going to take Alabama to put him much from Ole Miss.
No, I think Dabo Swinney's got that job locked.
I don't know.
After Saban, I think once Saban's gone, I think Dabo Swinney's got that job locked.
When a guy that won you a lot of national championships retires, you probably are going to say, hey, do you have anybody in mind that can replace you?
A guy who's also won national championships, his alma mater.
Just saying.
I think Dabo Swinney's got that job clamped. I think people are fighting for that job from Dabo right now. Dabo's building his resume at Clemson. Everybody's like, oh, Dabo's going to be Clemson for life. No, he's building his resume so he could get the Alabama job.
Well,
he said publicly that
if he wants to keep building,
he
needs to put DJ on the bench if he wants to keep building.
That's what I'm saying. DJ's useless.
You think he'll transfer?
I don't know. I think is he draft eligible?
It doesn't matter.
He ain't getting drafted. I'll tell you that. I think he's a sophomore. Like, true sophomore.
Do we have any portal news since we went over the coaching?
Oh, Hudson Card transferred.
Is it official?
Yeah, like, that was official yesterday, I think. Hudson Card transferred. I think my prediction is he'll go to Notre Dame. Hudson Card will. Either that or like Nebraska. Something like that.
I'm looking to see if there's anybody notable. Tulsa quarterback Braylon Braxton has entered the portal.
I don't even know who that is.
He's a quarterback. Oh, the Missouri wide receiver, the 5-star, entered the portal.
Oh, what's his face? They just made a bowl game, and poor guy. He's like, man.
Alabama wide receiver Treshawn Holden is entering the portal.
Oh.
Tennessee wide receiver Jimmy Callaway entered the portal.
So the Missouri receiver?
Baylor's backup entered the portal.
Backup quarterback?
Yeah.
Wide receiver Lovett?
Yeah, ain't that the 5-star?
Dominic Lovett. No, he's a sophomore. Luther Burden III is the 5-star.
Oh, okay.
He didn't do nothing all year. His longest catch was 35 yards, 5 touchdowns, 300 yards. I mean, if I got 300 yards in college, I wouldn't be too upset, but I'm a 5-star.
Hudson Card did enter the portal. He'll be a name to watch.
I just said that.
I know. I just didn't believe you.
You didn't believe me?
I'm just playing.
Bro. Missouri made a bowl game. That's what I'm, like, weirded out about. I thought Missouri was going to be 3-9. I know that the Indiana quarterback entered the portal. I know that. He's a former
I just saw that.
Former Missouri quarterback. Poor guy. When you enter the portal twice, it's like, bro, you got to hang him up. It's not for you. It's not the school.
Back to the coaching search. I heard Dion, it's pretty much stamped. He's leaving Jackson State.
I mean, as he should.
Either going to Colorado, Cincinnati, or South Florida.
You think Hunter goes where he goes?
His son definitely does.
So you think Travis Hunter goes where he goes?
I don't know.
Do you think Travis Hunter transfers and goes somewhere like big? Like back to like Florida State where he committed?
Yeah, I don't know because, Mike's been doing some stuff on the recruiting trail. He could get that commitment back. I don't know.
I think I could see it going back to Florida State. Florida State's good now.
If Dion leaves, Travis Hunter's hitting the portal.
Well, 100%. He's not staying at Jackson State without Dion.
100% guaranteed he's hitting the portal.
All the big I think every big guy that Dion got is leaving when Dion leaves.
All of that talk about it wasn't about the money. I just wanted to go to HBCU will be out the window.
Like, no, you didn't.
That was the right answer at that time.
Yeah, I think every big recruit that Dion got is leaving once Dion leaves. Most of them will go with him, but I think guys like Travis Hunter will go somewhere else.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere where he's going to announce Sunday.
Sunday?
Or it's going to be announced Sunday.
You think he goes somewhere like South Florida?
I was telling somebody, it doesn't matter where Dion goes, he's going to pull kids.
I don't want it to be South Florida. I know it's not like Memphis is like getting recruits anyway, but it's like we got to compete with South Florida now. Like Cincinnati's still going to be good no matter who they hire.
I think the obvious choice is Cincinnati. If you're Dion.
Yeah, it's weird that job's open now.
I think the obvious choice is Cincinnati. And I just don't I'm going to say it and I'm probably going to be wrong and I don't know. I just don't know if Dion can win at a high-level program.
I haven't even watched any Jackson State games to
I haven't either.
Tell you if that's right or not.
But I know beating up on Austin Peay and Alabama State doesn't prove anything. When you have 5 stars that you got because of your name.
Yeah, he's got a lot to prove. I mean, that's why it's smart for him to take
he needs to take a small job.
Like, I don't think it'd be smart for him to take the Colorado job.
Yeah,
like, he'll get recruits.
There's not very high expectations there anyways.
Yeah, he'll get recruits because it's a Pac-12 school and it's Deion Sanders. But I don't know. Dude,
Yeah.
getting like Colorado getting Dion would be kind of crazy because Colorado's like one of the biggest like tailgate schools, like the biggest like atmosphere schools
Right.
for like tailgating and stuff. And if they got Dion, they're definitely getting a game day game next year if they get Dion.
He's got a lot to prove, in my opinion. That's why I think he needs to go to like. I think Cincinnati's the obvious choice. They're headed to the Big 12.
Oh, that is true. Who wouldn't be at the American anymore?
Yeah, they're going to the Big 12 next year. It's a way better job than Colorado. It's a way better Power 5 job than Colorado.
So that's like that kind of makes me question Luke Fickell's transition to Wisconsin. I mean, obviously Wisconsin is a better
is a way 100% better job.
Is a better job, obviously, with them being at the Big Ten. But it's not like
you could have dominated the Big 12.
It's not like he didn't have another opportunity to go back to the playoff, win Cincinnati, because they're going to the Big 12. Yeah, but I don't know. He's like this Ohio kid at Cincinnati, already brought him to the playoff, and he just leaves. Yeah, he probably got a huge baggie.
I saw some Ohio State fans wanted to hire Dion. It's like, no, you do not want to do that.
Bro, just live with Ryan Day. Like, oh, he's only getting us 11 wins. I wish I could say that. Like, I work with a Clemson fan.
We got that in 2 years.
I work with a Clemson fan. He's like, oh, Dabo's definitely getting the Alabama job now. Like, definitely stamp Dabo at Alabama. And I'm like, bro, I wish I could sulk after going 10-2. I have to live with I have to be optimistic about my 6-6 every year now.
Next year it's going to be better.
I hope so.
I'm just saying that's what we got to listen to.
If Ryan Silverfield is still at head coach,
he is going to be. It is confirmed.
I hate it here.
It is confirmed.
I hate it here. You think Seth Hennigan's staying?
He is. It is confirmed.
I can't question you now because you probably got like inside sources and stuff. You probably talked to the AD yesterday.
It's been on Twitter, bro. And Prescorn's coming back.
Yes. What is he like? Is he young?
He'll be a senior next year.
Freak. Bro, Hennigan's about to be a junior. That's wild.
Yeah. He needs to take a leap next year.
Silverfield needs to take a leap.
That too.
He needs to stop calling plays.
I'm not going to say it's him. I think
he needs to stop calling plays.
I think it's a lot of a bad coordinator fit.
Does he call plays?
I have no idea. Jimbo does, and they fired their offensive coordinator.
Jimbo calls plays. That's why they suck.
Bro, they fired the offensive coordinator. Dang, I forgot his name. He coached for us.
Johns? Kevin Johns?
No, Dickey.
Oh, him?
Yeah. They fired him the other day for their for production, but he don't even call the plays. Jimbo calls the plays
for production. I didn't even know Jimbo called plays. That's why they suck.
Like, how do you fire an offensive coordinator that doesn't call plays?
Did Jimbo call plays when he was like elite at Florida State?
I have no idea. But he doesn't he calls the plays at Texas A&M.
Because if he was calling plays when like the year they won the title, I can't say anything.
What happened was they had to pin the blame on somebody without paying Jimbo $100 million.
Like, you don't have to blame somebody. If it's not his fault, it's not his fault. Don't fire the poor guy for not. Now bro's got to find a job because Jimbo sucked. Like, imagine being him. Like, go home to his wife. He's like, honey, I just got fired. Why? Well, they said the team is 5-7. You didn't even do anything this year. That's what I told the AD, but he was like, you're fired. We can't fire Jimbo Fisher because we got $100 million of him on the books. So we're screwed if
Your
we fire.
buyout's 4 and his is 100.
No,
So.
your buyout is $400,000, coach. Jimbo's is $100 million. What do you think we should do? All right, coach, I'll go. All right, I'll go.
Or you could be like Ed Orgeron. Where's the door? What you want? We don't out of.
No. It's not like that. Orgeron was being handed money for sucking.
That tripped me out, though. They said, Coach, they ain't not going so well. What time you want me to leave? What door you want me out of? He said.
All right, let's get to pick'ems. I'm going to pick these games. I want to pick these games. I cannot wait.
All right, let's start off with a banger on Friday. Akron versus Buffalo.
Oh. Absolute slobber knocker. We're going to go. Who's got the better record?
You can maybe pull out the darn ESPN app. Hold on.
I mean, I could check that if you have to pull it out.
I got it.
Shut up.
Calm down.
Akron's 2-9.
Yes. Buffalo by 100.
What? Oh, is this a postponed game?
No, this is a conference championship game.
There's no way.
I'm pretty sure it is.
There's no way. Akron's 2-9.
pretty sure. This is the MAC conference championship, is it not? No, this is a postponed game, I think.
Dog. The second I saw Akron was 2-9. I was like, heck no, bro.
This is a postponed game because it snowed in Buffalo. It snowed in Buffalo. And they had to move the Bills game to Detroit.
Oh.
Remember? Do you remember?
I remember.
Okay, it's a postponed game. We're taking Buffalo. Or I am.
I'm not picking this game.
Just take Buffalo and be done with it. They're going to win.
Fine. All right.
They're going to cover 11.
Buffalo.
Okay.
You had me thinking this was an actual game.
I thought it was until I looked at it.
There's no way the 2-9 Zips are in the conference championship.
I thought it was. My bad, bro. Calm down.
They play 1 p.m. on Friday.
Yes, it'll be a good start to the day. We'll watch it.
Like, not on freaking Black Friday. It's just a December Friday that they're playing on.
I'm about to say the same game again. You pick it twice?
No.
Conference USA Championship. North Texas versus UTSA.
Memphis got a win over North Texas. Yes, we do. Nah,
I don't think that's a good thing.
No, they're in a conference championship.
They're going to be in our conference next year, so.
I guess.
We're literally going to the Conference USA 2.0, but that's besides the point.
Can't wait. I'm going with UTSA.
Yeah, me too. I'm going with UTSA on this one.
By a billion.
I think it's the obvious choice, and their coach may get a call or two.
Sure, he's already had.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking he's probably going he's going to consider the South Florida job or some other job.
Well, South Florida will be a lateral move because they're coming to the American Conference.
But it's Florida, but it's also Texas. I don't know. I think he'll stay where he's at.
Pac-12 championship game. This is a good one. Utah versus USC. USC 2.5 point favorite.
This is in Las Vegas.
Is it?
Why? I know they had like a neutral stadium. Has this always been in Las Vegas?
I thought it was.
I think this has always been in the USC stadium, right?
I honestly thought that it was best record host, honestly.
I knew it was a neutral thing because they always have the Pac-12 logo in the middle. I always thought it was the Coliseum.
Why don't you go to the SEC championship game?
You know how expensive them darn tickets are? Them
Yeah,
tickets were $2,000 in September.
Yeah, I looked.
Dog, I'm no. Um,
I thought that would be cool. I was like, I can go see Tanner, hang out with Tanner, and we can go to the championship game. I was like, yeah, no.
oh yeah, we'll be broke the next 6 months. Not fun at all. Give me USC. It might be another close game.
Yeah, I like USC to get their revenge here.
Give me USC.
I think.
USC playoffs first year with Lincoln Riley is my prediction. I was going to predict that at the beginning of the year. Nobody's going to believe me now. But I wanted to put, if I did that, I would have had Notre Dame and USC in there when they would have played the last game of the year. That's why I kept USC out, because I thought Notre Dame was going to the national championship. Sue me.
I'm changing mine. I had Utah in the playoffs, so I'm going to let them spoil the playoff. Give me Utah.
Utah. Play spoil. Puts Ohio State in the playoff. That's crazy. You think Caleb... All right, okay, I got a question. You think Caleb Williams is the Heisman right now?
100%.
Okay.
But...
Who's second? Who's second? Is it CJ?
It's a gap. It is a gap now.
You think he's got a clear lead?
I think so after last week.
I'm going to be honest. I haven't thought about the Heisman at all this season. Usually there's seasons where it's like, oh, this guy's definitely winning the Heisman, like when Lamar won it, or when this is similar to the Lamar year, because it's like nobody knows who's going to win it, but Lamar's years was different because he was like super crazy. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like it's a year where it's like you didn't know, like I didn't know who was going to win it at all, so I didn't really worry about it.
So let me ask you. Stats, records aside, everything, all that aside, right? If you handed the Heisman to the player that meant the most on his team, who would you give it to?
Bryce Young.
That's what I say too. I think, my opinion, if Bryce Young's not on this Alabama team, they're lucky to win 8 games.
They had to barely beat Arkansas with what's his face. They didn't barely win.
I think they go like 7-5.
Really?
I think Mac Jones with this roster, with this offense, plays in the Music City Bowl.
You're lying. Mac Jones is not bad.
But he also had...
I understand the offense he had. I understand. And he had Sarkisian. But Mac Jones was a first-round pick, not because of what he had. Obviously, he's not great now.
Sort of kind of he was.
It helped, but Mac Jones was also good.
I just don't... I think that without those pieces around him, he wouldn't have been as
I understand
good.
What you're saying, but Mac Jones is not as bad as you're making him out to be. But yeah, Bryce Young is clearly the MVP, so you say? Like, yeah, he's clearly like the most valuable player in college football. You're like, I know
it's not Hendon Hooker.
No.
Anybody can sit back there and throw it to Jalen Hyatt and Cedric Tillman.
I told this to my dad the other day. I think the only reason that Tennessee is 10-2 is because of Josh Heupel. The only reason. I think that roster with let's say Hugh Freeze. Say Hugh Freeze goes 6-6, 7-5. That's not me being a Tennessee hater. That's just me praising Josh Heupel a lot. His system,
it's definitely him. Yeah,
his system is so complex and just so crazy good that he took that team to 10 wins. I think the only reason that Tennessee is not in the playoff right now or in the playoff hunt is because of their defense, specifically their pass defense.
Yeah.
Because the reason
yeah,
they're not in the
especially-
playoff hunt is because they let South Carolina and Spencer
If you
Rattler
watch,
put up
if you just watch
63
that one,
points.
if you just watch that 1 week of college football, you would say give Spencer Rattler the Heisman.
Yeah, give anybody who plays Tennessee's defense the Heisman. Bryce Young that 1 week.
Especially when they throw for 6 touchdowns.
Because it's like, yeah, Tennessee is really the epitome of like they just outscore everyone.
Yeah, Ole Miss was the same way until they couldn't score.
It's this that only gets you so far.
But I will say, TCU does the same thing.
Kind of, sort of.
I like there was a couple like the first 5-6 games of the year. TCU was just like, let's see how far we can get behind and then come back and win.
They have a bend, but don't. They have a TCU has a bend, but don't break defense. Like their defense isn't great, but they step up when they need to. Tennessee just has a break defense. Yeah. There's no bend. They just snap and fold. They don't bounce back at all. Tennessee's defense is not good at all. Their run defense is cool. Their pass defense
I love how we've gotten off topic on every subject.
No, that's the best thing. We've gone from crapping on Willie Taggart to crapping on Tennessee. It's a great day. It's a great day. We always have to find a way to crap on Tennessee. Always.
All right. The Dr. Pepper Big 12 championship game.
I thought it was
Kansas State versus TCU. No, it's Dr. Pepper.
Oh, that's the ACC. Whatever.
Yes. Yeah. Don't
TCU's
get your sponsorships mixed up.
2.5. Uh-oh.
This was a close game when they played.
Kinda. Give me TCU. Yeah, Sonny Dykes makes the playoff in his first year as head coach.
Yeah, I'm gonna go TCU.
You think this will be a Mel Tucker situation? Where they lock him up for 12 years and then he just sucks?
I'm going to tell you something. No, I'm going to go back on my statement. Now that I see this. If I'm right and Utah wins and beats USC, Max Duggan needs the Heisman.
Max Duggan?
Max Duggan.
Let's look at Max Duggan's stats. Old Maxie. Oh, wow. He's got 3 interceptions all year.
Look at those stats.
All right, let's look at old Maxie. 29 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Rushing. Show me his rushing stats. He probably ain't nothing. But it's 3,000 yards, 29 touchdowns, 3 interceptions.
Rushing, he has 97 attempts for 294 yards and 5 touchdowns.
I mean, I think the MVP of that team is probably obviously Max Duggan. But it's weird that he didn't play the whole year. I say not the whole year. He didn't play the first half of the first game.
The whole year he missed a half. Literally 1 half, and you're talking about the whole year?
Shut up. I don't know. He'd have to do something special this week for me to consider him as a Heisman. He'd have to do some Spencer Rattler stuff. Some
Just
Spencer
saying,
Rattler type shenanigans.
It's wide open right now. Especially if it's Caleb Williams and then it's wide open.
If Caleb Williams has the game of his life, like 6 touchdowns, 150 yards rushing, has the game of his career.
Dang, we're wearing the gray uniforms today? I ain't seen them yet. My bad. Watch the Memphis game.
Like, Caleb Williams has like 7 combined touchdowns, 150 rushing yards, 300 passing yards.
Bro,
and then
hold on, time out.
And then
Our
USC
court looks so good on TV.
I got the Duke game on my TV. And then
we're on ESPN Plus, so.
And then USC loses in like triple overtime, 56-60 or something, 58. You still say Max Duggan is the Heisman?
If Caleb Williams has the game of his life?
Yeah.
No. Right now I'm picking Caleb Williams. I'm saying if Utah beats USC and Caleb Williams plays, 2
touchdowns, 1 interception.
Somewhere along there. But I think for that to happen, even for then, Max Duggan would have to come out and throw like 4 touchdowns and kill Kansas State.
I think C.J. Stroud's wins it. If Caleb Williams doesn't, I think it's Stroud's award. Even after last week.
So what they invite? They invite 5 to New York or 4?
I think it's 3.
Is it 3? I thought it was at least 4.
I think it was always 3.
Sure.
Because last year it was Bryce, Aiden, and
CJ and
3.
I thought Caleb Williams got invited last year. I could be wrong.
It was always 3.
Oh. Well, who's your 3 that's going to get invited, do you think?
Caleb, CJ, and Bryce? Bryce hadn't had a good statistical year.
Does Hooker still get an invite?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Anyway.
Not too sure. Yeah, give me TCU. And they cover the 2.5. Kansas State don't know what they're walking into.
The Mid-Atlantic. Is this the Mid-Atlantic Conference? Mid-Atlantic? Is that right?
I guess.
Championship. Toledo versus Ohio.
Give me Ohio.
Yeah, I want Ohio. Ohio's been good all year.
I would have thought they'd be better than 9-3.
That's about all I got to say about them. I didn't watch the game. I just know they've been good all year.
Oh, they're on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 game win streak. Uh-oh.
Watch out. The Sun Belt Championship. Coastal Carolina versus Troy.
Troy's favored by 8.5. Is what's his face still on Coastal?
Yes. I don't know if he's playing or not.
McCall?
I don't think he played last week.
I know they haven't played in a couple of weeks because of the Virginia cancel. Oh, no, they played Madison. Dang, they got 40 piece by James Madison.
Yes, but I don't know if... Yeah, they played 3 different quarterbacks in that game.
Oh, wow.
Are you looking at it?
No, I'm looking at Grayson McCall.
No, they didn't. I don't know what they did.
He's been elite this season. 21 touchdowns to 1 interception.
Yes, they played 3 different quarterbacks in that game. This one guy was 1 for 1 for -6 yards.
Literally how? Did he play in the James Madison game?
No, he did not.
Okay, so if...
Google him real quick and see what it says.
Even before this... Grayson McCall status unclear for Sunbelt Championship.
Let's make a judgment here. Grayson McCall is a junior.
As of November 9th.
Is he draft bound?
Yeah. As of November 9th. Yeah, this is his 3rd year. So yeah.
November. But you think he'll declare?
I don't know, probably not. All right, let me finish. As of November 9th.
I just said is he draft bound, and you said
Grayson McCall will miss 3 to 6 weeks with a foot injury. And that was 2 weeks ago. Or 3 weeks ago. So he might be a game time decision.
It's weird.
He might be a game time.
I may take Troy regardless.
I think if McCall plays, I'm taking Coastal. But if he doesn't, I'm taking Troy.
That's kind of why I'm leaning. I just won't fill that out, and I'll wait and see. Because if I want to do that too, I'm going to wait and see if he plays, and then, So you're taking Troy if they don't win? Or if he don't play?
Yeah.
Okay. The American Championship. UCF versus Tulane. Rematch. Didn't they already play? They already played, didn't they?
I think you're thinking of... Cincinnati, Tulane.
Oh, I am.
Oh, they did play actually.
Did they? When?
Uh,
I don't see it. Oh yeah, they did. UCF won.
yeah, UCF won by a score.
UCF also allowed 39 points to South Florida last week.
And they also lost to Navy.
They did do that too at home.
UCF's defense hasn't been good all season.
UCF, they led 31-0 or 34-35, something like that, to nothing in that South Florida game. Oh, I can look.
Didn't
At
it come down to
halftime.
this? Came down to the last play, didn't it?
It did.
I remember that South Florida in their ugly puke jerseys came down to the last play.
Okay, I was wrong.
They were up 31-7.
They were up. Yeah, they were up 31-7.
It was 31-29 at one point. Give me
Yes.
Tulane. Give me Tulane. I don't need to see
I
no
think
more. It'll
Yeah, I
be
want-
close
I want-
again, most likely, but give me Tulane.
Tulane
Tulane wins
to go-
11 games.
Tulane to go to New Year's Six, and their first, their coach. Oh, the coach is gone. I forgot. Oh no, he stayed. He stayed. He backed out.
Tulane's coach?
Yes,
I don't even know who he is.
he took the Georgia Tech job, and then he backed out at the last minute.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure because I reported he was taking the job, and then I think he backed out at the last minute.
well, give me Tulane then.
Yeah, I want Tulane. First conference championship since Bill Clinton was president,
What?
and Tennessee won the national championship. Anyway,
Ain't that some?
well, looks like Tulane's gonna win another conference championship before Tennessee wins the national championship. Mountain West championship game. Fresno State versus Boise State.
Good old classic Mountain West rivalry. Two of the best teams. Give me Boise. The all-time best winning percentage in FBS history. Give me Boise.
Yeah, I like Boise too. We play them next year, by the way.
Let's go.
Little road trip idea. In a couple years, we go to Boise.
I'm not going to Idaho.
Bro, the blue turf though.
It's Idaho. The game will be at like 9 a.m. Well, not there. That didn't even make any sense.
It would be cool though.
Here it would be like 9 a.m. because they're like Pacific time, I think.
It'd probably be like a night game or something.
Give me Boise. Give me Boise. Voice crack.
Big
Give me
Ten
Boise.
championship game.
Oh boy.
Purdue versus Michigan.
I'm gonna say this right now. If Purdue wins this game, I'm not making another podcast episode.
Don't say that.
I won't do that. I'll do something. I'll do something wild.
Because you know Purdue is that team that likes
I know
to,
if I
like,
say that, Purdue's gonna do something crazy.
yeah, like if LSU beats Alabama, you'll give John $100.
That's the last time I said something like that. No, I'm gonna take Michigan. Purdue being here is just like weird. Like Purdue fans got to be like jumping out of their seats right now because they're like top 5 in basketball, and they're in the football conference championship.
8 wins got them in the conference championship.
They are jumping for joy.
You know, Purdue's that team that they're going to lose to the bad teams, and then
They take it every good team they play.
yeah, every top 5 team they play, they're going to make it a game. With that being said, give me Michigan.
Michigan by 50.
Jesus, I can't type. And I spelled it wrong. Now we get the Subway ACC championship game.
Subway.
This is an interesting game, I think. Clemson versus North Carolina. Clemson's favored by 7.5.
North Carolina is unreliable at the moment.
They are. But so is Clemson.
That is fair. So is Clemson. Clemson had every reason to win that game last week. They had every opportunity to win that game.
Every single one.
And they just kept shooting foot.
Hey, I remember us saying South Carolina could win 8 games.
I said 9 or 10.
For the first time.
I kind of stretched it a little bit, 9 or 10.
That was my hot take. When we did the hot takes episode, that was my own hot take that South Carolina could win 8 games for the first time since 2014, I think it was.
And they did that, beating 2 top 5 teams en route.
I went back and looked at our hot takes the other day, and we can go over them in a minute after the pick'ems, if you want. But anyway,
for future episodes, we can react to our early predictions, like the SEC predictions and stuff like that.
Yeah, that would be wild.
React to that. That'd be kind of crazy. All right, go ahead.
I don't know. I don't know which way to go here.
What were you finna say about our hot takes video?
Oh, I just said I was looking back at it the other day and seeing which ones were close, and
I mean, we didn't really have a ton of hot takes. It was more predictions.
Yeah.
Kinda.
That's what I really meant, but
I'm gonna go Clemson. Clemson's just the better team. North Carolina just doesn't have a defense. They might as well just not put anybody out there on defense because they just don't play any.
Yeah.
Do they still have Smoke? What's his name? Duck. What's his name?
Who?
The guy on defense, the defensive back. Do they still have his name?
I'm gonna say Clemson too. I think it'd be a lot closer.
Storm Duck. Storm Duck. Oh boy. He's got 3 picks on the year. Storm Duck.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Clemson.
His name is really Storm Duck. Poor kid. Yeah, just give me Clemson. They're just better. That's simply it. Better.
Last game. SEC championship. In your front yard. LSU versus Georgia. I don't think. All right, let me just go ahead and say Georgia's favored by 18.5.
Really? Michigan's only favored by 16.5.
I think Purdue and LSU both cover.
Well, yeah. I think this would be a way more interesting game if LSU won last week.
It would. Because right now, you don't know which LSU team's going to show up. But I think the same can be said about Georgia. If the LSU team that shows up and played Alabama shows up, this could be a game.
Yeah, but the LSU or the Georgia that against good teams this year, against Oregon, 49-3. Against South Carolina, who's now ranked 48-7. Against Florida, their bowl team, 42-20. Tennessee, ranked 1 at the time, 27-13. Mississippi State, who's ranked now 45-19. They have their track record against good teams is great. But against these lower teams is where they struggled because they play down to their competition.
Oh, this just made me laugh out loud. Sorry, I'm looking at the hot takes page, and I'm gonna tell you in a second because this made me laugh.
Let's pick this game. I think
I'm going Georgia. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I think LSU's gonna win, but I do think
I think
they'll cover.
LSU can win. Hold on.
It's in Atlanta.
I
It's pretty much
think
a home game.
everything would have to go right for LSU to win.
Yeah, 100%.
Stetson Bennett is. He's Stetson Bennett. Like, he's not gonna. You're not gonna look at Stetson Bennett and be like, "We're super confident that you're gonna win us this football game." He's just not him. He's not that guy.
He gets the job done.
LSU also hasn't played a defense like Georgia all season. I'm going to go with Georgia, but it has potential to be.
It's definitely not a blowout for sure, I don't think.
Georgia definitely, or LSU definitely covers right here. 17.5, I think that's kind of wild.
Yeah, it depends. I think it depends on where you're at. I think it's sometime 18.5.
Well, ESPN says 17.
Yeah.
More than the Michigan Purdue game is wild. That's more than that is wild.
That is wild. At least LSU's ranked. Are they still ranked? Are they ranked still?
Yes, fool. They're yes.
Are they ranked behind or ahead of Florida State?
Behind by 1.
That makes sense, right?
Well, they lost to him, yeah.
And Florida State has three losses.
They haven't lost since they were 3-3. I'm not gonna check, but probably.
And their losses are to Syracuse, Florida State. I mean, not Florida State. Clemson.
Yeah, they lost themselves.
I knew you were gonna.
Syracuse, Clemson, Wake. Yeah, Wake. So yeah, we got TCU. I think we got all the better teams winning. Unless you got Utah.
The only one we picked separate was USC and Utah.
I don't know, man. It's weird not seeing Oklahoma in the Big 12 title game.
Anyway, since I skipped this part,
the past 2 seasons Oklahoma hasn't been in the Big 12 championship.
Pick'em records.
It ain't over till it's over. We still got this week and bowl week.
We still have this week. We still have the Navy Army week, the Navy Army game.
And bowl week.
Yeah, but ain't the Navy Army game before bowl week?
Yeah. Bowl week is like a month.
We may have to do a couple of different pods on bowl week because ain't it like yeah.
It'll mostly be NFL pods from now on, and we can mix NBA in there.
Yeah.
We got to figure out the pod's direction now. I ain't even think about all that.
Tanner overall record. Last week 12-12.
12-12. That's so ugly.
Overall record 114-76.
Hey, that's good. 30 games over 500.
Last week I went 13-11. I got one game you didn't.
You picked a game better. Congrats.
And I'm 119-71. You were right there.
Brother.
And this week you're not going to pull away. Maybe you might inch closer because you made it the USC game.
I'll inch.
It ain't about how you start, it's about how you finish. But you did start 6-1.
I did. It was about how I started. It was about how I started.
And then you went 4-5, 6-4, 5-4, 8-7, 9-9, 9-8.
I just stayed 500 the whole season.
13-5.
Yeah, let's go.
13-11, 15-8, 14-5. And these we made. Hold on, you got to keep in mind. I still got to mix in the week 8. I haven't mixed in week 8 yet.
It ain't gonna be much better. It's probably terrible.
You don't know. That was the week we. That was the week we both picked Memphis to beat Tulane.
Oh, it was. Yep. I don't think I picked against Memphis all season, except for the first week.
So on our hot takes, we had this: the Heisman will go to a defensive player for the first time in 20 years, or over 20 years. And I said a candidate was Jack Campbell from Iowa.
Buddy. I don't even remember you saying that. I remember us talking about Will Anderson.
We talked about Will Anderson, and we pretty much we said that he was the only real candidate for this. But then I didn't want to just talk about him. Like, if we was going to say it was going to go to a defensive player, we had to have more than one, right?
It was going to be Will Anderson if it was going to be anybody.
Right.
Like,
we had
simply.
Colin Oliver. We had Colin Oliver from Oklahoma State and Jack Campbell.
I thought it was either going to be him or that one pass rusher from Notre Dame. I forget his name.
Then we had a group of 5 team will make the playoff for the second straight year.
I knew that wasn't happening.
BYU was a candidate.
No, we talked about Houston and BYU.
And Cincinnati.
Yeah. What's Brody's name?
Tennessee Vols win the SEC East wasn't that bad.
They were second.
Here's the one. Alabama Crimson Tide missed playoffs. Now, whoever said this said they were going to lose to Texas and then Ole Miss or A&M.
Was it Foskey? I think
so. They had the 2 losses, right? They just didn't have the right teams.
Yeah. I just thought there was no way that they lose 2 games under Bryce Young. I think it's Foskey that I'm thinking of.
What was South Carolina's preseason win total? Do you know?
I don't. Dude, this is gonna bother me. Is it Foskey? I think it's Foskey.
Last year was 4 or 5 wins and they won, or 3 to 4 wins and they won 7.
Yeah.
I want to say it was 4 or 5 this year.
Yeah, I thought it would be Isaiah Foskey if anybody besides Will Anderson. Okay, I know it's him. But obviously it wasn't. Or isn't. Whatever. All right, I'm done looking at that. It was bothering me. I was figuring out who the guy on Notre Dame was.
What did I just do?
I remember the hot takes video. We were talking about the Bills, like, win the Super Bowl. Josh Allen wins MVP.
Those are on there too. They weren't really hot takes. They were more predictions.
Yeah.
Like Bengals lose first round.
Probably still go.
Bills win Super Bowl. Herbert finishes top 3 in MVP race. Jerry Jeudy comeback player of the year.
Heck, I know. He's not even playing anymore.
And Josh Allen will win MVP. I could see one of these happening. 2.
Josh Allen probably is not winning MVP. I think it's Mahomes. It's Mahomes to lose right now.
I could see the Bills winning the Super Bowl, and I could see the Bengals losing in the first round.
What else did we say? We said group of 5 team makes playoff. Defensive player wins Heisman. Alabama doesn't make playoff.
Vols win the SEC East, somebody said.
That wasn't completely terrible.
And South Carolina wins 8 games for the first time since 2017.
We got one right. We got one of them. Do we
We got
want to?
two.
Do we want to talk about the NFL?
We got two. We got the Alabama Mississippi playoffs.
Yeah. I guess we can touch on the NFL. We're up to an hour and a half. We can touch on the NFL. If we won't. We could touch on the Thanksgiving games. Buffalo almost lost to Detroit. I think they should have on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Tampa lost in overtime to Cleveland. Speaking of Cleveland, Deshaun Watson's coming back this week. That'll be fun. Tennessee
Sorry,
lost.
I do not promote behavior. Don't
I ain't talking about
ban me.
that. Miami.
I was clapping for him coming back, not for what he did. That's why I was making that clear. I just don't want to be banned.
Miami is on a 4-game streak of putting on 30-plus points, and they're on a 5-game win streak at the moment after dropping 3 in a row. Tua he's not undefeated. He's lost 1 game when he started. The Jets with Mike White obliterated the Justin Fieldless Bears. Jacksonville comes back and beats Baltimore. Baltimore's 4 losses are all multiple score leads blown. That's so funny. Josh Jacobs is the reason I lost my fantasy matchup, by the way. Brody wants to have the game of his life and score 55 points in fantasy when I'm up like 80. I'm not mad. You're mad. But Josh Jacobs had like an 87-yard touchdown in overtime for Vegas to beat Seattle. Oh, we still got to do NFL pick'ems. I was wondering, like, why do we want to do the NFL? Yeah, we still got to do pick'ems.
Yeah, we do.
Rodgers. It doesn't seem like Rodgers is going to play this week. I mean, he said
I read that he was.
He said he was, but LaFleur's like he's probably not. So there's
Well,
conflict of interest there. I don't know if he's actually will.
Hold on.
Am going to play.
Let me look at Adam Schefter, because I'm pretty sure he said.
I don't think he actually is going to play. I'm not sure.
Hold on. Matt LaFleur said he expects Aaron Rodgers to play Sunday.
Oh, he expects him to play? I thought he said it didn't expect. I read it wrong.
It said he does expect.
Well, Rodgers is playing against the Bears. I don't know why he's rushing back to play the Bears.
Odell Beckham Jr.'s free agent tour kicks off Thursday.
I thought it kicked off last Thursday.
No, he's visiting the Giants tomorrow, Buffalo Friday, and then the Cowboys on Monday. Like, bro, you're not a 5-star recruit.
Buddy, he's visiting. Yeah, we got OBJ visiting next week. He's going to watch us play. He's full of himself. Like he's this hot commodity.
Well, they are treating him like it, so.
Jeff Saturday doesn't call a timeout with 30 seconds left. And the Colts lose. That's pretty much all it is. It wasn't really a crazy week. Pick'ems. Thursday night. Big game in the AFC East. Huge game in the NFC East tomorrow. We got the Bills and Foxborough playing the Pats. I think this is a must-win for the Patriots. I also think this is a must-win for the Bills. Bills haven't won a divisional game yet. And if Miami wins and the Bills lose tomorrow, they got a 2-game lead.
At this point, we're just picking NFL for fun. I quit keeping up with NFL pick'ems a long time ago.
They're probably horrendous. Absolutely egregious. I'm going to go with the Patriots at home. At home. The Bills are shaky. They're unreliable. No Von Miller. Give me the Patriots at home. Remember the last time the Bills went into Foxborough? Mac Jones had 3 pass attempts.
And won.
And they won.
I thought that was in Buffalo, though.
I think it was in Foxborough. I don't remember.
I think it was at Buffalo.
Either way.
Last time they played.
Give me New England. No, last time they played, New England got bent over 47-17 in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
But I'm still taking the Patriots. At home.
I'm gonna take the Bills.
We
I don't know
disagree.
why. I don't know. Really don't know why it's -4 though.
The Bills favored?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Monday's got the wackest games, bro. Wackest. We'll get there. Detroit, Jacksonville.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
What?
Okay, hold on now. You might have a different order than I got. Hold on, let me look.
What, did I skip a game?
No, you're good. Okay.
Did I skip a game?
No, keep going.
Detroit, Jacksonville.
You're not gonna pick the Packers and Bears?
I guess we could pick the Packers Bears. Aaron Rodgers got bad ribs.
The 4-8 Packers versus the 3-9 Bears.
Even when the Packers are 4-8, they're still better than the Bears.
Well, Fields might not play either, so
Fields might be shut down for the year. I'm gonna go Green Bay. If Rodgers plays, I'm just gonna go with Green Bay. Another 4-8. That's not really a set in stone thing, but the Packers could win 3 games all year. He's gonna win.
I bet they take like a safety or something in the draft though.
The Packers could win 3 games all year. They're gonna beat the Bears twice and the Cowboys. I'm gonna go with the Packers.
Yeah, me too.
The Packers. All right, Jacksonville, Detroit. This is a weird game to pick, but both of these teams are kind of hot a little bit.
I like the Lions.
I'm gonna go with the Jags. The Jaguars. They're coming off.
I like the Lions in this game.
Huge win at home against the Ravens. Detroit. Looking good. The Jets and the Vikings. This is an interesting game. Mike White.
This is why I thought you was going to skip.
No. This is going to be the Mike White coming out party. Is Mike White
had that last week.
No, he played the Bears. This is Mike White's coming out party. If he plays good against the Vikings, I think Zach Wilson is donezo in New York.
Yeah, I'm taking the Vikings though.
Vikings at home. I'm gonna go with the Jets. Give me the Jets. The JTS Jets with Mike White beats Minnesota. Mike White gets an 8-year extension with the Jets, and everything is happy. The Giants and the Commanders. Both teams are in the playoffs as of right now.
That is wild.
And I told you.
The whole NFC East is in the playoffs.
And I told you. This is the start of New York's spiral downward. Going with the Commanders. Taylor Heineke.
Yeah. I'm probably going to Commanders too. I don't hate the Giants here. If Chase Young plays, I'm definitely going Commanders, I think. I know he's borderline.
Tennessee, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown revenge game.
I hope we lock him up. I hope he has like 10 yards.
I'm not picking against the Titans.
I refuse.
In Philly.
Up, this has ugly Titan win written all over it.
It was an ugly Commander win It was an ugly Commander win last time the Eagles lost. I'm going with the Titans. Denver, Baltimore. It's a classic little AFC matchup. I'm going with the Ravens.
Yeah, I think you have to. The Ravens are 7-4, but it feels like they're 4-7.
The last time the Ravens were on a football field.
I saw a TikTok earlier. Russell Wilson is still yet to throw as many touchdowns as he has bathrooms in his house.
That's wild. But the last time the Ravens were on a football field, Justin Tucker took a darn near 70-yard field goal for the win against the Jaguars.
I thought the Jaguars won that game.
I'm saying, like, it's Justin Tucker went out and tried an almost 70-yard field goal.
And I'm going to find that. A 67-yard field goal.
He was trying to break his own record to beat the Jaguars, and he broke the record to beat the Lions last year.
Okay, did you watch it?
Yeah.
How short was it?
It was like this short. Like, seriously, if it was a 66-yard field goal.
Pause.
Yeah. I know. If anybody knows, it's me.
Sorry.
If I you did that on purpose. You did that on purpose, you weirdo. If it was a 66-yard field goal, it probably goes in. That's how close he was.
He made one in warm-ups from there.
Yeah, that was wild. I thought that was going in.
I don't know how I didn't hear about that. Like,
I don't know. I just had Red Zone on, and they cut to it. It's like Justin Tucker's attempting a 67-yard field goal for the win. I was like,
he's like, what?
All right, let's go.
If anybody can do it, he can do it.
I'm ready.
Bro.
Deshaun Watson, revenge game against the entire country of Texas, or state.
Country.
The entire state of Texas.
It's big enough to be a country.
Deshaun Watson first game.
The
Back
1-9 Texans. 1-9-1, sorry.
Knowing the NFL, the Texans win this game. I'm taking the Texans.
Give me the
scripted, written all over it. The Texans win this game.
Oh, yeah. You suspended Deshaun 11 games.
I never heard of an 11-game suspension in my life. 11. What?
Oh, yeah. He's got 30 charges, 11 games. I'm going to go Browns. Deshaun Watson throws 5 touchdowns.
I'm going to go with the
but
Texans. Deshaun Watson gets benched for Jacoby Brissett. Miami, San Francisco. Now, this game's a little something, you know what I'm saying? Mike McDaniel against his former head man in
Did you see
Shanahan?
Hold on. Did you see Mike McDaniel? I saw a TikTok of Mike McDaniel. He was like in the mic and the headset and the helmet mic, and he was saying like Georgia is the best school, SEC school to go to. He's like, thank God Tua can't hear me right now. It was just funny because he was trolling Tua on the helmet mic. It was like the mic'd up thing.
McDaniel's he's a G. I like watching him. I'm going to go with the 49ers.
You just love to disagree. I'm going Dolphins.
I'm going to go with the Niners. I think the Niners are at home. Jimmy G's playing the best he's ever played in his entire career outside of 2018, 2017. When he got traded. I'm going with San Fran. Give me the Niners. Chiefs, Bengals. The last 2 games that these guys have played has been ESPN Classics.
Yeah.
With the Chiefs. As long as Patrick Mahomes is breathing air, I'm going Chiefs.
Yeah.
Mahomes is him.
A lot of man against Travis Kelce. Just throw it.
Chargers.
Yeah. Jamar Chase will be back this game too, though.
Yeah.
This game soars over though. 52.5.
Maybe. These type of games where we're guaranteeing overs always turns out to be not those games.
Yeah, fair.
Chargers, Raiders. Last time these two teams played, week 1, it came down to the final play. Khalil Mack, strip sack. Does you know if is Mike Williams playing in this game?
I don't know. Let me see if it has it on here. Questionable.
I'm going with the Chargers anyway.
The Raiders are not good.
The Raiders are weird. I don't know how to evaluate the Raiders.
Oh, they don't have Darren Waller. They don't have Hunter Renfrow.
I'm going with the
Josh
Chargers.
Jacobs. Unless Josh Jacobs puts up 70 fantasy points again, I'm going Chargers.
Chargers. Josh Jacobs might do it again because Chargers' run defense is terrible.
Ain't that why you lost? Ain't that why you lost? Is Josh Jacobs?
Yeah. Glad you reminded me. I forgot completely. The Colts keep getting.
I'm glad you lost because I lost too, and I was been way knocked out of the.
The Colts get another primetime game for some reason, and they're playing the Cowboys.
The Odell Beckham game, his visit.
Cowboys are winning.
No, my bad. I thought this was Monday. My fault.
Cowboys are winning. Simply.
Yeah, it's Cowboys. Matt Ryan is terrible.
Why do the Colts get primetime games, bro? What? And then the Monday game is the Bucs Saints. Like, I'm not trying to watch Andy Dalton throw a pass, bro.
Well, I mean, the Bucs have had Tom Brady's number. I mean, not the Bucs, the Saints. Sorry, I can't talk today.
They have. But still, both of these teams are like 500. What's crazy is somebody from the NFC South is making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Somebody. It's like the NFC East in 2020. Like when the 7-9 football team made it. It's like somebody from that division is playing in a playoff game. And if it's not the Bucs, it's gonna be wild.
I'm just saying, playoff Tom, something else.
Watch it not be. He just sucks.
A 7-loss playoff Tom goes to the Super Bowl. Imagine.
I'm gonna go with the Saints on the road.
I'm going Bucs.
Just because they're playing the Bucs.
I'm going Bucs.
I have no reason to pick the Saints here. I'm just picking them.
Yeah, I have no reason to pick the Bucs. I mean,
why don't we just pick a tie? Pick our first tie prediction. No, I'm going with Saints.
If I'm gonna pick that anywhere, it's gonna be
Jacksonville, Detroit. No, Atlanta, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh loves ties.
I was finna say that, and I could see, like, no, never mind. They're gonna kill them. Seattle's gonna absolutely murder Los Angeles.
LA is terrible.
No Aaron Donald. No Matt Stafford. No Cooper Kupp. No Allen Robinson.
Just disband the team. Just disband the team. Send them to Europe.
It's funny because LA traded all their picks.
Seattle's like, it's not Seattle. Detroit. Detroit is like loathing in picks right now. But Seattle's loathing in the Denver picks is why I said Seattle.
Yeah. It's funny because actually both teams, Detroit and Seattle, both the picks they have, both teams are 3-8. They both gave up their best player for those
and
picks.
Then Detroit's like, LA's not tripping because they got a Super Bowl, right? But Denver's like terrible. It's looking terrible.
Matt Stafford just needs to, like, I don't know, give his ring to Cooper Kupp.
Just let Cooper have two of them. Here,
kind of like Mel Tucker owes Kenneth Walker half his contract.
You have 2 rings. You get 2 rings now, plus with your Super Bowl MVP. Thanks for being the franchise. All right. That is going to conclude the episode, y'all. This is our longest episode yet, even longer than the first one, which I didn't think was going to happen. We appreciate you guys listening. We appreciate you guys watching. We'll be back again next week. Next week's going to be a fun episode. We'll have the playoffs set. What we should do is we should go live on Sunday.
With the selection show?
Yeah. like live reactions. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool. But we
Well-
gotta make sure one TV is not ahead of the other. Because mine be ahead of yours. Sometimes.
I'll have it playing in the background here so the stream can hear it. As long as they're not seeing the video, like the stream won't get taken down. But yeah, we'll probably be live on Sunday with the selection show so we can see like who gets picked. We'll let you guys know. We appreciate you guys watching. We appreciate you guys listening. Follow us on Spotify, follow us on Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys get your podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the notification bell so you guys never miss when we go live. And you guys won't miss if we go live on Sunday. We'll let you guys know about that. We really do appreciate you guys listening and watching. The support on last stream was absolutely crazy. We appreciate you guys. We will see you guys Sunday or next week, whatever it is.